Prince Harry is having such a nervous breakdown that a picture of his young niece celebrating her birthday, lovely young woman who he no longer has anything to do with because of his appalling treatment of her parents, sends him into some type of meltdown. The biggest meltdown he's feeling right now is as a result of his erasal by his father, King Charles, from Highgrove. Yes, this was before the appalling behaviour. This is now. Do you notice the picture that's missing from the wedding? For very good reason. I reckon Camilla probably chucked it in the bin, actually. But let me show you why Prince Harry is apparently having this breakdown, with friends revealing to Richard Eden how the lovely new image of Charlotte left him feeling very sad. For an old friend of the Duke of Sussex tells Richard Eden that Harry desperately wishes his own children, Prince Archie, who turned 7 yesterday, and Princess Lilibet 4, enjoyed the same sort of childhood as their cousins Charlotte, Prince George, and Prince Louis. Who took that right and that opportunity away from them? Chickens coming home to roost is the saying that rings a bell here. This is what the pal told Mr. Eden. Archie and Lily are having a lovely time in California, a lovely time as prisoners in that mansion. But Harry is very sad that they are missing out on life with the rest of their family. During his return visit to Britain last September, Harry told a friend that he and his wife Meghan plan to educate their children in this country, meaning the UK. Harry feels his children are missing out on the extensive family network that their cousins are enjoying, explained the chum, referring to Prince William and Catherine's offspring, who all currently attend the same public school, £32,000 per year, Lumbrook. Harry wants his children to have the very best education, the friend added. He has retained his closest friendship group of confidants from his days at Ludgrove and Eton. He wants that for his own children. Now, again, there's a lot of propaganda being put out there. Can I just tell you, he hasn't maintained the friends and the confidants from his school days, because I know some of those guys, and they find his behaviour truly reprehensible. They find the way that he treats the British royal family truly reprehensible. So can we please stop this propaganda that Harry is still in touch with all of these old mates? No. Most of them think that he is a scumbag and feel like the rest of the British public. The friend conceded that Harry might have a challenge selling his plan to Meghan. Oh yeah, no sugar, Sherlock, who is said to consider sending children to boarding school barbaric. Well, that is a dig. Can I just be clear about what's going on here? That is a dig at Prince William and Catherine, who are probably intending to send Prince George to a boarding school. And so now we have Meghan, who I think is anything but Mother of the Year, describing William and Catherine as barbaric. Sickening. This is also sickening and desperate. The pal went on, there is still some negotiation for Harry to have with Meghan. The king, however, is delighted. No, he's not. Again, can we please stop this propaganda suggesting that in some way the king, who has now cut all contact with Harry, really gives a damn about his pie-in-the-sky plans. Actually, what he wants is Harry not causing trouble and not causing difficulty. And if he were to return to the United Kingdom, bring the children back to attend school here, guess what? That would immediately cause trouble and difficulties for the king. That comment, though, Richard Eden goes on, suggests that the Duke had mentioned his plans to educate his children in Britain to his father, who he met for tea at Clarence House last September. Given the ages of Archie and Lilibet, who were controversially given Queen Elizabeth II's family pet name, they are unlikely to be sent to boarding school across the Atlantic anytime soon. Meanwhile, their cousin Prince George is expected to start boarding school, probably Eton College, that's what I believe, in September. Now, as the royal grift put it, after having to put up with that, these royal reporters are the reason for a lot of this gaslighting. Are you effing kidding me with this bullshit? We are sick of these two. Let them sort it out privately. But here is how Richard Eden responded. I need you to do something for me right now. It is free. It is easy. It is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. I mean, P. Diner, royal YouTube sensation, by the way. Hello, welcome. Great to have you back on Outspoken. Sorry, I'm just so into this story.
Yeah.
You know, I actually agree with the royal grift on this. Like, what is Richard Eden trying to suggest here? What is he playing at? And actually, everyone needs to see through what this is. Total propaganda from Team Harry and Meghan, full of lies, attempting to do down William and Catherine by describing them as barbaric, attempting to do down William and Catherine for putting out a lovely picture of Charlotte. I mean, it's just nuts. And also, I think totally misrepresenting where the king actually stands in regards to Harry today.
Well, I think there's just a lot of confusion because Harry is confused. There is a lot of stories going in so many different directions. No one really truly knows. But I think from the experience that Harry is having right now, I mean, I can see him wanting to have his children have experiences that he had growing up. So I do see that there is some problems with, the future of Harry's children. What is happening now, I think, with the media is just there's just so much going with their lives in terms of, what people are saying that they said, what the reality is. And I just think it plays to the fact that, Harry's life is a mess and he is confused and his children are confused. They will be essentially later as they get older because none of this will make sense to them because their lives have been, I think, hidden from them. Part of their life has been hidden from them in real time. Like right now, they're not going to experience a lot of these things that, Charlotte and the other cousins are experiencing. So it's really sad to watch it actually happening because we know that these children are experiencing a very a secluded life that is not going to give them the full life that they should have as real royals, living in the UK. So, you know, that's how I see it. It's just a lot of confusion with everything because he's confused.
Yeah, indeed. But the thing is, Pete Diner, it's like, does he have any idea who his wife is? Like I have said for a long time, and we have even had this conversation, P. Diner, and you know all about this given your time in California. There
Mhm.
is no way in hell that she is letting the children be privately educated in the United Kingdom because all of a sudden she would potentially lose that ability once the marriage breaks up to keep the children in California, which is effectively her biggest bargaining chip in terms of either what the divorce settlement is or what type of agreement they come to. So it's just not happening. And I just find it so delusional that Harry will have these conversations with his friends. And I'm sure he does have a lot of dreams,
Yeah.
but it's like she's not allowing that.
No, Megan is smart. She knows that that's going to be her ticket to never having these children because they will then become like forever in the UK, essentially. I mean, that would be their whole life, essentially, would be going away to boarding school, and she will not have any power. She's giving up her power if she allows this to happen. So, no, there is absolutely no way that's going to happen. I mean, I even have a personal story where something very similar happened to me. And that's what I was thinking. I'm not going to allow my child to go visit in another country where his dad is because I will lose my custody rights. So, yeah, Megan is not going to allow that to happen. Mm-mm.
100%. Then we come to the dig from Charles. And Pete Diner, don't tell me this is not deliberate, okay? Because they know the symbolism of these moments. And it really makes me think right back to when I revealed the story of Megxit, and it has become folklore now. But remember, I was being briefed by people very, very close to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle that one of the final straws in terms of their reason to decide to leave was when they saw that the late Queen Elizabeth, during her Christmas message that year, didn't have the picture of Harry and Meghan and
Hmm.
well, it was Archie at that time, wasn't it? It wasn't
Yeah.
Lily, but didn't have the picture of Harry, Meghan, and Archie on her table. That was one of the things. So this is symbolism, and it's got to hurt. Let me just take you through the reporting of it. This from Hello magazine, actually. King Charles's Highgrove shake-up sees Meghan Markle photo move. His Majesty King Charles has had a reshuffle at his beloved countryside home in Gloucestershire. A new look inside reveals. But as Long Sally, aka Sue Smith, revealed, bye-bye, Meghan. They took her picture down, and I don't blame them. Cleansing the house of evil. It was actually Chris Jackson, the Getty photographer who does a lot of royal stuff, who put this out there to the world, because I think he had taken those pictures that do remain on the table. And as Hello went on, His Majesty King Charles loves spending time at his Gloucestershire home, Highgrove, and the countryside retreat is full of very personal elements, including family photographs. A fresh look inside the royal residence has revealed that the monarch has had a reshuffling of the photo frames, and seemingly a photo of Meghan and Harry's wedding day has been moved from its prime position. An Instagram story by royal photographer Chris Jackson, who was at the property to host an event, quickly snapped 2 of his own images on display in one of the gorgeous rooms. A small wooden table showed an image of Prince Harry shoulder to shoulder with his brother Prince William and father King Charles. Another showed King Charles holding his grandson Prince Louis. In 2024, influencer Lydia Millen spotted this very spot, but eagle-eyed fans will be able to spot the difference. There used to be an image taken on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's 2018 wedding day on display. Now, of course, Hello Magazine, because they're pretty soft on these things and quite careful with Harry and Meghan, said, there's a chance Charles's team has simply chosen to display the wedding image elsewhere, but it's lovely to see the smiling snap of Charles and Louis now proudly on display. I mean, pull the other one, P. Diner. Of course, this is not a coincidence. This is absolutely symbolism, and it backs up what I have been reporting earlier in the show, which is that this delusion that Harry has that things are great between him and Charles is increasingly out of touch with the reality of how Charles actually feels.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They are able to erase you. That's what they do, erase you from history, erase you from, looking like you're still a part of the family. Absolutely, they did that intentionally because they're sending a message. Why would they try to not do something like that? Look at everything that Harry has done. The royals have no voice. This is the one way they have a voice, is through these symbols. And, taking away a photo allows them to show, how they feel about something. I mean, of course, if you don't really have a way to come out and refute or rebut things that is said about you in the media, the one way you do have it is by placement of photos. And I think absolutely this was done intentionally. And I think it's great when they do things like that, because they should have this way of showing, how they feel about things, because they can't otherwise with their voice or with, other ways. This is a great way to show how you feel, right? So I don't know why they do that. Like, why would they try? I mean, I guess they want to show themselves as being a magazine that's not trying to be too, combative or whatever, but just, look, just say what the reality is. We're all thinking it. I
And this
don't know
is why
why
the
they do
mainstream
that.
media is just dying, P. Diner, because no
Yeah.
one wants their soft soap PR'd version of events. It's like we want the unvarnished truth. And the unvarnished truth is that things are really bad between Harry and Charles at the moment. And he clearly has removed the picture for very good reasons. And it is highly symbolic. Look,
Right.
there were some astonishing pictures that came in overnight, P. Diner. Not sure if you're a big football fan, but Prince William watching his beloved Aston Villa, and he was just absolutely going wild. Right? The glamour and prestige of our monarchy shatters when royals behave like this. You're not agreeing with him on that, P. Diner.
No emotions, right? Like the
Well,
man can, he has
I was thinking,
feelings.
P. Diner, do you remember the late Queen when she used to watch her horses?
The
And
horses,
she would,
yes.
and the Queen Mother, and no one was saying, oh, she's taking away the dignity of the monarchy. Do you like the Queen would be, she'd
Right.
be
I
like
remember
that,
that. He was
like,
like, oh yeah,
yeah, and with
right.
their
I remember that.
binoculars, and
Yeah.
I think it's really out of
On.
touch. People criticizing William for this. I think people actually love seeing William like
We
this.
love this. We want to see our future king show emotions, real emotions that we too can relate to. Okay, this makes him human. This humanizes this man. Stop making him like someone that has to be so well contained to a stiff upper lip. This is a new day, a new time. Stop it. Okay, that's ridiculous.
Now, I also think Harry is just so desperate at the moment, P. Dina, to do anything possible to overshadow William. And I've got another example, but before I come to it, because it relates to David Attenborough, I think we just have to give a huge big up to this man who, remember, was very close to Queen Elizabeth II, and today is marking his 100th birthday. And it's very sad to me that his good friend, the late Queen, didn't get to this milestone. We really hoped that they would get to it together, P. Dina. And then who would have sent the late Queen the letter? You know, the famous letter that everyone receives. So that's the first thing I want to say. Just amazing, David Attenborough. Absolutely amazing. 100 and still going strong. It is just incredible. But you know, P. Dina, there is a bit of a battle amongst the royal family for proximity to David Attenborough. Of course, his loyalties were always with the late Queen, but he has also done events like here he was at the Netflix event that was attended. It was a very rare event, actually attended by King Charles, Prince Harry, and Prince William. And this was a big deal, P. Dina. I remember reporting it at the time because King Charles wasn't going to attend that event because it was a Netflix event. And at the time, The Crown was running the most recent series, which was very negative about him in terms of the marriage to Princess Diana. So they came to an agreement between the palace and Netflix, which was that no stars of The Crown would attend that event. And as a result, King Charles went. And of course, we got those incredible pictures of the three men whose relationship was really faltering at that point with David Attenborough. So I'm just making the point, P. Dina, there is a long history with David Attenborough and the British royal family. But I'd say he's least close to Harry, actually. But Harry has decided to try and get himself some good PR for David Attenborough's birthday. This wasn't something that was asked for him to do, by writing an article. And P. Dina, I say writing, I mean, he didn't write this, okay? Harry didn't write this. It was either AI or written by one of his team or sort of commissioned out, because I just don't believe he wrote this. I'm just being totally honest with you. And it's for Time magazine. And he wrote, for almost anyone who grew up in the United Kingdom, Sir David Attenborough is more than a broadcaster. He is a secular saint. He is an institutional pillar as essential to the national fabric as a cup of tea. His almost whispers have been the soft soundtrack of the home, a shared experience that turned the Weekend Nature documentary into a national ritual. Whether you grew up enjoying biscuits or cookies, he is the man who showed you the world through a uniquely spectacular lens. He has earned the world's trust by simply showing us that our environment is worth appreciating. He didn't demand our attention, but drew us in with the wonder of nature all the same. In Attenborough's approach, we find a vital lesson for our time, that wonder is a powerful precursor to protection, reminding us that we may only care for a world that we have first learned to truly value. Now, it went on and on and on, P. Dina. But my thing is, firstly, Attenborough didn't ask you to do this. He actually wanted it to be relatively low-key. I've seen him speaking about that. And there was a whole load planned by the BBC where he continues to work. But the bigger point is, P. Dina, the way that people are authentic, and that is something that Harry and Meghan have put so much stock in, being authentic, is when we hear your voice, when we read your words. Okay, people often say, I mean, I used to write a lot. You know, I had my columns for years and years and years. And the biggest compliment people could give me, P. Dina, is, oh, it was like you were speaking to me. I could hear your voice in that. It was just like you were talking. You know, that's the joy of writing. And that's why I hate AI so much and people who use AI to write their articles. Now, Harry may have used AI for this. He may have got someone else to write it. But trust me, that's not his voice. And it would have been so much better for Harry to actually write something from the heart, because this tribute, P. Dina, I think was just an attempt to try and get some good PR off the back of David Attenborough. We are on a mission to 700,000 subscribers. So I need you to do something for me right now. It is free. It is easy. It is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. And it is the best way to support Outspoken. We're totally independent, by the way. No big tech backing, no billionaires pulling the strings. And if you turn on the bell, you'll get alerted to all our new videos. Hey, Dinah, there was this big breaking news story overnight. Andrew Mountbatten, Windsor, attacked by some type of madman or an unmasked man terror, as the Daily Mirror put it on their front page. Chased by this man in a balaclava. That man has now been charged by police, P. Dinah. But what I think is pretty wrong about this is he is immediately using it by briefing the newspapers, the Daily Telegraph, who I think he briefed this story in the first place, to demand taxpayer-funded security, P. Dinah. So here's the latest. Police arrested Alex Jenkinson, 39, on suspicion of a public order offence and possession of an offensive weapon. Friends said it highlighted the ongoing issue about the long-term safety of the King's brother following revelations about his links to Jeffrey Epstein, the late paedophile. The King withdrew his younger brother's personal allowance and private security provision in 2024 as he attempted to force his removal from Royal Lodge in Windsor in the wake of the scandal. A source close to Mr. Mountbatten, Windsor, has called for the security provision to be reviewed because of the risk to his safety. A Force spokesman said officers were called shortly after 7:30 p.m. yesterday, following a report a man was behaving in an intimidating manner in the village. Officers attended and the man was arrested on suspicion of a public order offence and possession of an offensive weapon. He was taken to Kings Lynn Police Investigation Centre for questioning. Alex Jenkinson, aged 39 and of Stowmarket, Suffolk, has since been charged with 2 counts of using threatening, abusive or insulting words or behaviour to harass someone or cause alarm or distress and failing to provide a specimen of blood in custody. He has been remanded in custody and is due to appear at Norwich Magistrates Court tomorrow. But then a source close to Mr. Mountbatten, Windsor, told the newspaper, even though Andrew is no longer a working member of the royal family, the threat to his personal safety is greater than ever. In fact, it could be argued that he is actually more at risk, not only from a potential terror attack, but also from individuals who have become fixated due to all the coverage he has attracted over recent years. This incident clearly demonstrates why his security provisions need to be appropriate for someone with a high profile. There should be a review which gives proper consideration to Andrew in the light of what has happened. Now, Pete Dinah, this has, got a lot of anger. We broke this story yesterday during the Royal Uncancelled After Show with Paula Frolic Uncensored, and she said she just wants Andrew to stay under house arrest, that effectively he shouldn't leave Wood Farm at all, and she has no sympathy. And then we had on our other main show, you can actually watch that highlight now, P. Dinah, on YouTube, Di Davies, the former head of Royal Protection, who also had absolutely no sympathy for Andrew and is absolutely certain that he should not be receiving taxpayer-funded security, because in Di Davies' view, Andrew should actually be in prison right now awaiting the results of this investigation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. While listening to this story, I was thinking, yeah, this man has done some things that he needs to atone for, and he hasn't. He essentially being on house arrest is not really a true punishment, but he should have to just stay in his home, not leave. And I think if he wants to have any kind of protection, what has he done to try to show paying back to society? What has he had to do to show reparations, in a sense? Like, okay, can he do something?
The latest drama exploded after Princess Charlotte's birthday portrait was released. A warm, polished, classic royal family image. And according to reports circulating through royal insiders, the photo left Harry feeling very sad, because Archie and Lilibet are not experiencing that same upbringing alongside their cousins. Now think about how extraordinary this is. This is the exact life Harry once had. A huge extended family, royal traditions, country homes, shared holidays, close friendships built from childhood. And now, reportedly, Harry believes his children are missing all of it. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody in Team Sussex wants to say out loud. Who took that life away from Archie and Lilibet? Who decided to leave Britain? Who attacked the royal family publicly? Who burned bridges with William, Catherine, and the rest of the monarchy? Harry and Meghan did. And now suddenly we're supposed to feel shocked that there are consequences? This isn't some mystery. This is the direct result of choices they made themselves. According to Richard Eden's reporting, Harry has apparently told friends he wants Archie and Lilibet educated in Britain someday. The reports claim Harry wants his children to enjoy the same elite schooling, friendships, and social network that shaped his own upbringing. But there's one major obstacle standing in the way: Meghan Markle. Because according to the same reports, Meghan considers British boarding school culture barbaric. And many critics believe that comment was a very deliberate swipe at Prince William and Princess Catherine, whose children are expected to follow the traditional royal education path. Another detail that raised eyebrows was the claim that Harry still maintains his close friendship circle from his Eton and royal days. Many commentators strongly dispute that, because over the past few years, multiple reports have suggested Harry's old friends were deeply uncomfortable with his attacks on the royal family, his interviews, and especially the contents of Spare. Several insiders have hinted that many of those relationships are now fractured or gone entirely. So critics say this latest media push feels less like reality, and more like carefully crafted Sussex PR. At some point, Prince Harry has to confront reality. You cannot spend years attacking your family publicly and then act shocked when relationships collapse. You cannot burn bridges and then mourn the loss of connection. And perhaps most painfully of all for Harry, he now appears to be realizing that the people most affected by all of this may ultimately be his own children. Because while William and Catherine's children continue growing up surrounded by family, tradition, and royal life, Archie and Lilibet remain separated from almost all of it. And that may become Harry's greatest regret of all. If you enjoyed this royal commentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more breaking royal news, analysis, and dramatic updates every day.